Good evening and welcome to the show. This Eagle team continues to impress week after week, even in the midst of controversy, criticism, and adversity, which, by the way, I believe they thrive on. They came out and dominated the Steelers in every way possible. It's time for my breakdown. Listen, although the quarterback is always the headliner, I'm going to start with the defense today because there is much the story as the offense, and oftentimes they are overlooked. So we're going to give them a little love today. Listen, Vic Fangio and this Birds D are something to behold. When you can devise, implement, and have player execution in a game plan the way he put it together, that speaks volumes. The Steelers came into this game averaging 338 yards per game, 132 on the ground, and 206 through the air. They managed a paltry 163 yards of total offense on the day. That's 56 yards on the ground and 107 passing. In today's NFL, that's unthinkable. To add insult to injury, they were 3 for 10 on third down. They averaged 4 yards per play and possessed the ball only 20 minutes out of a 60-minute football game. When you dominate like this, you got to look at what the D-line did. All day, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams and company stuffed the inside run lanes, and the edge guys, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith, and Jalix Hunt set the edge, forcing the football back inside to the fast-flowing linebackers Nakobe Dean, who, by the way, led the team in tackles with 10, and Zach Bond all day. Cooper DeJean, CJ GJ, and Reed Blankenship filled the gaps with speed and aggression. Their ability to limit the run prevented Russell Wilson from getting to the play-action pass and, for the most part, keep him in the pocket where he's most uncomfortable when his first read is taken away. Sweat and Smith registered a sack apiece while the secondary shut down the passing attack. Slay probably played his best game of the season while the young guns did what they normally do, shut down opposing wide receivers. Blankenship and Gardner Johnson played smart football, limiting the deep ball and providing great tackling as the last line of defense versus the run and the pass. Listen, this number 1 ranked defense seemed to be peaking at the right time. And as they do, Vic Fangio is adding new wrinkles each and every week to confuse opposing quarterbacks. Bravo. Offensively, you can say that in the midst of last week's controversy about the passing game, Jalen Hurts quieted his critics, if not only for 1 week. It was apparent that the Steelers' plan was to limit Saquon Barkley, who only had 19 carries for 65 yards, so Jalen came out firing on all cylinders. He was 12 for 13 for 176 yards in the first half alone with 2 passing touchdowns. Connected with A.J. Brown, who had 8 receptions for 110 yards and a 1-yard touchdown on a 5-yard crossing route in the end zone, and Devontae Smith had 11 catches for 109 yards and 1 touchdown on a 2-yard slant. The passing game showed up huge as Jalen finished the day 25 for 32, 290 yards, and added a rushing touchdown to the 2 passing touchdowns. The O-line consumed this vaunted Steelers defense led by T.J. Watt, who had 2 sacks. One would look at the stats and assume that the Birds just aired it out, but they ran the football 42 times for 131 yards, which kept the Steelers defense honest. The Eagles posted 26 first downs, was 10 for 17 on third down conversions, ran 77 total plays, that might be a high for the year, and racked up 401 yards of total offense and dominated time of possession 40 minutes to 20. What I liked the most was the strategy by Kellen Moore and Jeff Stoutland. For the most part, it was a chess match. If the Steelers aligned in single high safety, Hurts went to the passing game and got the ball out of his hands decisively, accurately, and with great timing. When the Steelers' defense aligned in 2 high safeties, Jalen checked to runs that kept them ahead of the chains and put them in position to convert manageable third downs. The offense came in with a definitive plan from the jump and executed it to perfection. And also, by the way, scored 10 points in the first quarter for the first time all year. Head coach Nick Sirianni's post-game mantra, you want us to run? We'll run it. You want us to pass? We'll pass it. They can beat you any way they need to, and the rest of the NFL are now on notice. If this team can mix it up and play this way, look out. This was a total team effort, as Jake Elliott found his groove as well, connecting on field goals of 34 and 41 yards comfortably and piping 3 PATs right down the middle. Yeah, keep your popcorn ready, Philly. As the regular season winds down, this journey is about to be must-see TV. That's my breakdown. After this break, the Inquirer's Jeff McLane joins me to talk about this 10-game run that the Birds are on and take a look at Game 2 versus the Commanders.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them, sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
Most people don't know how to get the care they need. The experts at Stay at Home Care can help. Before choosing a caregiver or family member for your care, you need to apply for the home care program. The application process can be complicated. Stay at Home Care can help you navigate through every step. Once approved, your caregiver or family member will receive guaranteed weekly pay, a variety of medical benefits options, paid holidays, paid vacation, and overtime pay. Call Stay at Home Care, here to help every step of the way.
It's the most wonderful time with the kids jingle. Be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
Whether your phone's broken or old, we've got you. With Verizon, anyone can trade in any phone, any condition. And get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Hello?
At Pond Lehocky Giordano, we understand the impact an injury can have on your life. Our experienced attorneys have recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we know we can do the same for you. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family-owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging. Our core values drive everything we do. Come join our team. This segment is brought to you by Pond Lehocky. Welcome back. Philadelphia Inquirer writer for the Eagles and host of Uncovering the Birds podcast. Give it a listen if you want to know everything happening with the Birds. Jeff McLane now joins the show. Jeff, never ceases to amaze you, these Philadelphia Eagles, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing some great football, Seth, as you well know, and have seen it yourself. But at 12-2, and certainly in the race for the NFC #1 seed, the Eagles have a chance to do greater things once they get to the postseason.
All right, now, so I'm going to start with Nick Sirianni because he's been under tremendous fire all year long. And somehow, some way, he seems to get this team ready to play every single week. What does that speak to about the job that he's doing this year?
Yeah, I mean, look, they were 2-2 at the bye, and Nick looked at the team, he looked at the offense, he looked at the defense, and he made changes that were necessary on the offensive side of the ball. He said, hey, you know what? We have Saquon Barkley. We have one of the best run-blocking offensive lines in the NFL. Let's start running the ball more. Let's lean into that. And as we've seen, obviously, over the last couple months, they've really just killed teams on the ground. So
Saquon Barkley has been the focal point, and Jalen has been under fire for the lack of passing production. Has he answered the critics, or are we still kind of in let's see mode after last week?
Well, I mean, he showed a lot this past game, Seth. He had to come out, and I don't think he had to prove to anybody. He's done it before. We've seen him. I mean, he went all the way to the Super Bowl and nearly carried the Eagles to a title in that game by throwing the football downfield.
AJ struck the match, BG poured gas on it, and started what many consider a four-alarm blaze. But they answered the call last week. Will we look back at this as a major inflection point of this season?
You know, it's possible. I really honestly, Seth, looked more at that bye when they kind of, sat down and really dug deep into what they needed to do to get this offense turned around. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni had a lot of meetings that, hey, we can't have you turning the ball over. And since then, we've only seen Jalen turn the ball over 3 times. But I think in terms of the team overall, the way they were able to handle all the drama on the outside speaks to what Nick has done in terms of building up the culture on this team, the changes that he made in terms of the leadership council, what they do. And, I think for Jalen and AJ and their relationship, I think they probably needed a little bit of this to kind of sort through some cobwebs and come out on the other side. And, we saw obviously on Sunday with the passing game, they were able to do that. It could be an inflection point for them. But I look more so towards that bye week.
All right, so I can't rave enough about Vic Fangio and what he's done over the last 10 weeks with this defense. What's your opinion on what was the turning point? I know you spoke on the bye week. Like myself, I think that this team is just scratching the surface of how good they can actually be.
Yeah, I mean, just getting Vic in here over what they had last year at defensive coordinator was a huge change and addition for this team. You got the guy, they had 2 coordinators previously who ran his scheme, but you got the originator now. They've gotten key contributions from some of their big guns, the guys that they've drafted. But you also have the little pieces, Zach Bond being primarily one of those guys. But I think Jelix Hunt, these last few weeks, we've seen him contribute as well, and he's only a 3rd rounder.
All right, so next up, we got the Washington Commanders. The Birds dominated in the first game at the Link. Since then, the Commanders are 2-1, and Jaden Daniels looks to be 100% from that rib injury that he had in the first game. What's your keys to an 11th game in a row win for the Birds? And give me your prediction.
Keys to the game, I mean, I think, again, it's containing Jaden Daniels like they did the first time they saw him. He may be able to run a little more because he is healthy. And that's something the Eagles have done a pretty good job again. They did a great job against Lamar Jackson just a few weeks ago, and he's probably one of the more mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. So I think that is going to be one of the keys. And on the other side of the ball, it's just just getting back to what you can do, passing or throwing. It's just tough for these teams now to defend the Eagles on offense because obviously they have Saquon Barkley. They've shown that they can run whenever they want to. But if you're going to put an extra guy in the box like the Steelers did last week, Jalen Hurts has shown now that he can get it done through the air, and he should because he's got guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith on the outside, and he's got one of the better pass-blocking offensive lines in the NFL. I haven't really picked a score yet, Seth, but I'm definitely going to pick the Eagles in this game, which shouldn't come as much as a surprise.
All right, Jeff, great stuff, man. Listen, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time and insights, all right?
Thanks for having me, Seth.
You got it. Up next, Sean Brace is here to help you set your weekly fantasy and betting slate.
It's the most wonderful time with the kids jingle. Be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
Whether your phone's broken or old, we've got you. With Verizon, anyone can trade in any phone, any condition. And get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all 3 on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Hello? This is Parks. Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
And the next thing I knew, I woke up in a hospital bed.
Has a friend ever told you a story about an accident and someone says,
You should probably sue them.
forget your friend. Call Ponley Hockey Giordano.
We're an injury law firm that's recovered billions of dollars for our clients.
And with our vast network of attorneys throughout the country, we know we can do the same for you.
So if you've been injured in an accident, give Ponley Hockey a call.
One conversation is all it takes, and you won't pay a dime until we win.
Get peace of mind, try certified at DavisCertified.com.
How do you make sure your next vehicle purchase is a quality vehicle priced right? Go to daviscertified.com.
Every Davis certified pre-owned vehicle has a 60-day, 2,000-mile powertrain warranty, plus 2 years of free oil changes, a 3-day exchange policy, and a free Carfax report.
Get peace of mind, drive certified at daviscertified.com.
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. Give my guy, the FoxPHLGambler.com, a follow at SeanBrace_ on X. Sean, it's been a while. You got to be impressed with these young birds, man.
Is that what y'all wanted to see? Oh, you gotta love it, man. Nobody's got more swag than Jalen Hurts, and of course, after that type of game against the Steelers at home, yeah, I'm all about it. Eagles looking really good right now, Seth.
Let's start with the bets first. Give me a 4-way parlay to bank on for this week.
Ooh, tough sledding as we're closing up shop here in the Week 16 of the NFL season. But let's go ahead and do this. I'm trying to find games with teams that have something to play for. I found a few angles, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. First and foremost, Ravens and Steelers on Saturday, Seth. We know what took place last time in Pittsburgh. I think it's all about the revenge for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Short week for the Steelers here. I think that's important, something to take notice of. I like the Ravens at home, given the 6. I've never said that before in that battle before, but this week I like the Ravens. On to the next one, Cowboys plus 4.5 on Monday night. Cooper Rush and the Cowboys have covered 3 out of the last 4 games. It should be a good one on Monday night. I like a ton of offense versus the Bucs. Give me the Cowboys catching 4.5 at home. The Green Bay Packers are a monster 13-point favorite on Monday Night Football. No surprise. The New Orleans Saints, they don't want any part of that cold weather at Lambeau. I like Jordan Love in that offense to keep it rolling, so give me the Pack at home minus 13. And finally, Seth, the Jameis experience, yeah, it's fun for the first time you ride it. After that, then it's crash and burn. So we're going to go ahead and go up against the Browns this weekend. We're taking the Bengals at home. Joe Burrow and that offense has been rolling, so I like Cincinnati at home minus 7.
All right, man, on the fantasy side of things, who's your top players in defense for this week?
All right, we talked about offense in that Cowboys game. I'm going to Baker Mayfield. This guy has been incredible this season, Seth. A lot of value there. How about last week, trailing 17-10 on the road against the Chargers, and all of a sudden Baker leads the Bucs 30 unanswered, 4 touchdowns. I love the matchup, as I said on Monday Night Football. Give me Baker Mayfield at the QB position. Running back, you have to have Jahmyr Gibbs, in your lineup with the absence of David Montgomery. There's only going to be one guy that's going to get the rock, and that is Gibbs this weekend. So I like Detroit on the road in Chicago. Could get ugly, but give me Gibbs there to tote the rock a ton in that one. On to the next one, wide receiver. We're going to stay in the division. Romeo Doubs. Yes, 2 touchdowns versus Seattle. I think Jordan Love has found his guy at this point in the season. So give me Doubs here to get another touchdown this weekend. I like him, as I said, with the Packers there. And then defense wins championships this time of year in fantasy, Seth. Believe it or not, every point matters. So you got to find those angles. I like Cincinnati. They've been terrible all season, for 6 turnovers last week versus the Titans. Give me Cincinnati this weekend as far as defense is concerned.
All right, and to round it out, my friend, which defenses and players are you fading for Week 16?
Oh, first and foremost, we're going down to D.C. and we're fading the rookie, Jaden Daniels. This is a defense like Seth Joyner's defense with the Eagles right now. Yeah, I like the Eagles going down to D.C. and limiting Jaden Daniels as they did in that first matchup, under 200 yards passing. Running back, Isaiah Pacheco just hasn't been the same since he returned from the injury. Of course, there's a question mark with Mahomes. Will Wentz be the quarterback? I'm just going to fade Isaiah Pacheco this week and continue to do so. Like I said, something just isn't right with him returning after the injury. Wide receiver, DK Metcalf, another questionable concern as far as the quarterback position is concerned. It might be Sam Howell. Even if it is Geno Smith, it could be him on one leg. Took a bad injury there in that Monday night game or Sunday night game against the Packers. So I'm going to fade DK Metcalf this week. And finally, a defense to fade. the Pittsburgh Steelers. As I said, revenge on the mind for Lamar Jackson. Lamar still in the running for the MVP. I know everybody already gave it to Josh Allen, but we'll see what Lamar has to say about that one. I think this could get ugly for the Steelers. Yeah, I'm going to fade them this week as far as defense is concerned.
All right. Sean, my friend, it's always great to have you on. You certainly bring the energy. Thanks for the picks, my friend.
Always a pleasure. Happy holidays to you and yours, Seth.
Same to you, my friend. All right, download the BetParks app. Like me, you love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParks. Coming up, my closing thoughts and predictions for another huge NFC East matchup versus the Washington Commanders in D.C.
At Pond Lee Hockey, we're neither a pond nor a hockey team. In fact, I don't even know how to skate. Cut. We're the injury law firm that you want fighting for you.
With our vast network of attorneys across the country, we know the playbook on injury law.
It's how Pond Lee Hockey recovered billions of dollars for more than 100,000 injured and disabled workers.
And we know we can do the same for you.
So give Pond Lee Hockey a call. No other law firm will fight harder for you.
And you'll never pay a dime until we...
It's the most wonderful time with the kids jingle. Be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
Whether your phone's broken or old, we've got you. With Verizon, anyone can trade in any phone, any condition. And get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Hello? Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them. Sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParks app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a wardrobe update? Introducing Divine Nine's Custom Menswear, your clothier for truly unique, custom-made threads. With Divine Nine, you can design your own one-of-a-kind suit, jacket, slacks, shirts, golf pants, and shorts, perfectly handcrafted by our skilled artisans who will bring your vision to life. Prepare to stand out from the crowd with Divine Nine's Custom Clothier, official clothier of Seth Joyner. Custom clothing made for you.
This segment is brought to you by Verizon Communications. Welcome back. One would believe that the Eagles are peaking, but I get the sense that they're still ascending. The offense, after finding its potent passing game, has given opposing DC something to stay up at night about other than the explosive and dynamic Saquon Barkley and his dominant offensive line. An offense that can beat you with their running back, the quarterback's arm, and or the power and speed of his legs is a tall order to handle. Jalen Hurts' confidence has to be sky high at this moment. He's got everything a quarterback could possibly wish for at his disposal. And like a seasoned point guard, all he's got to do is distribute. While most teams have been preparing to stop Saquon, the Eagles have thrown the wrench in the game plan because it's apparent that they can attack you physically by ground or finesse you by air. With Kellen Moore's ability to attack the chessboard, making moves in any direction like the Queen, this unit will be almost impossible to stop, provided they can execute. Do you prepare for Saquon battering and bruising you, or AJ and Devontae and company shredding you to pieces? That sort of option makes it hard for any defense to defend. Once they get Leonard Dickerson and Dallas Goedert back, this offense will be at full strength. It's really game on then. Add that to the defense that's playing at an elite level, the only thing that can stop this high-flying Eagles team is themselves. Whatever the preparation level was last week on both sides of the ball needs to be the standard from henceforward. You can see each and every defensive player's confidence rising, knowing that they have the capability to dominate anyone that they face. Fangio and his staff not only have these young players prepared, but they're mixing fronts and coverages up to keep offenses off balance and making in-game adjustments that forces opposing offenses to adjust to the adjustments on the fly, and that's a major advantage. Listen, let's shine a little light on how good this unit is playing. After 15 weeks, this Eagles defense ranks first in points per game at 17 points, first in total yards per game, 275 yards, second and third down conversions, 34%. And I can't tell you how good that is because our goal always was 33%. Fourth in red zone scoring at 48%, seventh versus the run at 102 yards per game, and first versus the pass, only yielding 173 yards per game. Wow. Who amongst us saw this coming? And as great as the offense has been, the defense is why this team, in my opinion, is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I know, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it's hard to witness what we're seeing and not get excited about the possibility of another Lombardi trophy. Next up, the Washington Commanders. In the first game, rookie sensation Jaden Daniels was banged up, which limited his ability to scramble and display his full potential. Now he's fully healed and seems to be trending on an upwards trajectory again. This Commanders offense will be another stern test for the Birds. They rank 6th in points per game with 28, 5th in total offense, 373 yards per game, and 6th in third down conversions at 44%, 7th in red zone scoring at 60%, that's a pretty hefty number, 3rd in rushing offense at 155 yards per game, and 16th in passing at 218 yards per game. On defense, they rank middle of the road in almost all stats, with the exception of pass defense. They're ranked 4th, yielding a stingy 189 yards per game. Like all games, this game will be won in the trenches. Who can run and who can stop the run? And the Birds' defenders' ability to contain Daniels, as well as their ability to once again limit Terry McLaurin, who Quinyon Mitchell literally held to one reception for 10 yards in the first game. It's evident that the Birds are still the superior team, but like every week, they're going to have to go out and prove it, and I'm more than confident that they will. Give me the Birds for their 11th victory in a row, 28-17. That's the show for tonight. I'll see you next week, hopefully post-viewing another Eagles win and looking ahead to Dallas week at the Lake. Have an awesome night, Philly, and fly, Eagles fly.